Assalamu alaikum, my respected brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we're here together with Salih for another podcast. Inshallah, you're in good health and good spirits, and inshallah, Ramadan is going great for you. Today, I'm going to introduce you to one of our valuable committee members. I won't take that away from him. I'll let him introduce himself. Salih?
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Brother Salih Alkan. I'm an Australian-born Muslim, Turkish background, of course, and tradesman in the local area out here in the Auburn Lickham area, and proud to be part of this wonderful organisation, Sadaqa Welfare Fund. Thank you.
So Salih, how long have you been with the organisation?
Since 2013, so this is our 7th year in the organisation. I was a donator to begin with, and then I became a volunteer, and then I said to myself, you know what, if only I can get the opportunity to be actually, more attached and more part of the organisation. Hence then I was given the opportunity to be part of the committee. Board members. So
Alhamdulillah. So tell us about your first trip.
First trip, of course. The first trip is always the interesting one. That's the game changer, of course. And obviously not knowing what to come across. And going to a third world country is just like, oh no, what are we doing? Are we doing the right thing? Are we not? I don't know. We don't know. Only Allah knows. So anyway, we just we put it all together, and it happened so quickly as well. Thank you to Brother Coskun and Brother Bilal. They put the whole trip together, and one of the other committee members, Brother Heidi, I met him the first time, and mind you, I knew Brother Bill and Brother Josh for a long time, but and going to a third world country with especially one of the members that you don't know of, it's quite not easy actually, because we don't know what we're to face.
Yeah.
So
it's a new environment.
It is. So off we went to Bangladesh. It was the first trip. And as soon as we arrived, it all started then, arriving in the airport, no air cons, waiting in the line for hours, just to even get out of the airport. And away we went into this third world country, is what they call, that I've always seen, in documentaries and on Google and whatnot, and we always see these third world countries on TV and social media, but actually being there is a complete different life changer, and it actually was for me. Like seeing people that are much in a different situation than you, actually does hit you. So, for example, I can back that up with that saying where they say, who knows more, the one who reads or the one who travels? And you know what? It's actually quite true. The one who travels is the one that sees and knows and learns more and understands more. So that first trip was an amazing trip. We did get to see the level of, we did actually get to live their level of living. So we weren't in 5-star luxury or anything like that. We were humble along with them, sleeping on the floor as well, with all the bugs and everything walking around you, and it was just an amazing trip. Look, jumping a little ahead after the trip. Once we came back from that wonderful experience that we had, it did completely change the way I think about life, the way I think about living, family, and the purpose of life as well. And it actually made me more attached to my faith as well at the same time. Hence why I kept going and still soldiering on.
Alhamdulillah. So I think that first trip was to Kishoreganj area of Bangladesh.
Yes.
And I think we're in Tatarkanda village.
Correct.
I wasn't on that particular trip, but and it is an area that we frequently visited, especially because we had built houses, water wells, toilet facilities, supported a lot of the masajids. So alhamdulillah, it is very remote, and Salih is very correct. The guest room that we stayed in, and subhanAllah, like, the windows are open, you've got bugs, you've got frogs jumping around, you've got spiders everywhere, they've got white lizards. So anyone who's Bangladeshi probably that's listening is probably going to relate to it. So subhanAllah, it is very, very raw. And even when you step out, you're feeling what they're feeling. You're having a humble roti breakfast, and you're trying to heat the water up so you can have a tea or a coffee in the morning. And you're showering in a water pump, nice and cold water, and you're just walking around the village and just trying to adapt to the lifestyle. So correct. I guess we sort of got it raw for quite a few years there. So
yes, we did actually, and you know what, I believe anybody who is to go on a trip of a lifetime, going to any sort of country that's classified as a third world country, I would strongly recommend to go with people that you know and trust as well at the same time. Look, I went with two of the brothers that I haven't met before. The other brother was Yunus, by the way. He came with us as well, and alhamdulillah, everybody was humble about the situation. We did have our ups and times as well, but we sort of fitted in within the first few days, and managed to get through. And it was a life changer for all of us. Definitely was. So I do strongly recommend those. Anyone who can travel.
Alhamdulillah. So I guess when you really look at it, 6-7 years down the track, both Yunus and Heidi are still a part of the organisation. Yep. So alhamdulillah, I think those trips definitely mould you as a human being, give you a different perspective, and I guess when you look at the work that you're actually doing and how far it reaches, it has a massive impact over there. We have the Australian currency, we buy the produce there on the ground, and then we can reach many more families. You're hiring people within that country, you're hiring volunteers from those particular areas. So it's empowering them as well to do a little bit as well. So alhamdulillah, Salih, tell us maybe some of the other countries you've been to.
Yes, the other countries that I've been to, along with the rest of the community members. Obviously, we've been to Bangladesh many times throughout the year, and many years over and over again, until alhamdulillah, Allah gave us the opportunity to be able to go and see other countries and carry out works in those countries as well. And along with that came the places that I went to was Indonesia. I've been to Yemen. And Turkey Syrian border as well, and of course when we went to Bangladesh, we went on the Burmese border, and seen the Rohingyans situation there. So that was another different life changer as well. But yeah, they're the countries I've been to pretty much at the moment. So Allah knows what's ahead for our trips, upcoming trips.
So I guess what was sort of planned for this year for maybe the trips that you were supposed to go on, especially with Ramadan?
Yep.
What were some of the countries you were looking at going this year?
Yes, my trip plan was supposed to be to Lebanon, from there to Palestine, and then to the Turkey-Syrian border as well. But unfortunately, as we all know, that all got cancelled. But we make dua to Allah that He gives us the opportunity to be able to go back there, follow our projects as what we like to do. At the moment we've got our teams, very strong teams, carrying out the works for us at the moment. So alhamdulillah, they're full swing at the moment. So inshallah, once we get the opportunity, we'll definitely be going back to follow up on our projects and take the opportunity to see other countries as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. So Salih, give us one of your memorable moments, something that sort of stuck with you. I'm sure there's many over the last 7 years from all the different countries and the different experiences. I know it could be a tough one. I've put you on the spot. Give us one of those memorable moments that actually stuck with you.
Well, memorable moments, I think.
Give us one.
I think they all are, but I want to say my first trip, but in terms of the crisis, I want to put the crisis as my first point of choice. The Rohingya situation, when we went on the border while the crisis was happening, and we were down very close along the riverbank, where the border separates between Myanmar and Bangladesh, and it was on the second day, was it second or third day? It was we went to a small little village, and they told us that there was some Rohingyans that actually came through the night before. Right, so obviously, you don't travel during the night because it's during the day because it's too dangerous. So they said that they came during the night time. So we went. They directed us to a place, and it was a shed. It was a large shed, and it was so hot. It was unbelievably hot. I couldn't even stand the weather outside. Like, I was having difficulties. And in this shed, under the tin shed, it was, I would say, easy 60, 65 degrees. And I walked in, and all I seen was Rohingyan sisters, kids, babies, just in there, just dripping in sweat, but they're too scared to come out. They're too scared to show themselves. And even when they seen us, they were actually very scared, thinking, who are these guys? Are they here to get us and whatnot? But that was probably my memorable moment. And alhamdulillah, Allah gave us the opportunity to be able to take those group of people, of the sisters, kids, and babies as well, and to be able to give them temporary accommodation, and allow them to get back on their feet, just as an initial help to them. So that was probably my memorable moment, because it was that first-hand experience, that actually seeing the refugees as soon as they arrived from over the border. So
that was, I have to say, that was an amazing sort of experience. That sort of, yes, they definitely does stick with you. Giving them water. We had to hire boats to get them across due to the flooding. That part of the island was disconnected to the mainland.
Yep.
And we hired the boats, got them back onto the mainland, took them back to the camps, tried to support them where we can, and got them set up in the camps. So alhamdulillah, yeah, there was definitely a moving experience. So I guess, Salih, I think in further podcasts we'll probably be talking about the Rohingya crisis and what Sadaqa Welfare Fund's doing.
Yep.
But what's your final message for anyone that's listening, or the final message for Ramadan?
Final message from me will be probably what I'm going through at the moment, as much as everyone else is. Look, this is a ni'mah and barakat from Allah, the situation that we're in at the moment. It's actually, there's a lot of barakat involved in it. So please take the opportunity to make a lot of dua, tawbah, istighfar, ibadah, family bondship, and always, please do not forget the people overseas right now, and they actually need you more than ever right now, because as much as the charity organizations are working overseas, they are trying to work overseas. They are limited, in reach. So Sadaqa Welfare Fund is continuing. So alhamdulillah, in the countries that we initially intended to. So we are still continuing our packs, our FITR packs, FIDYA, kafara, that is. So please support Sadaqa Welfare Fund as well. And remember, the time of giving is during the time of Ramadan. So we are very close to it, alhamdulillah.
All right, inshallah. So brothers, Jazakallah khairan. Thank you very much for listening into the podcast. We thought it'd be a great opportunity for you to meet some of our committee members. You've probably seen Salih on many photos and videos on the ground. We're always trying to engage our donors in the whole process of purchasing, packing, trucking, distribution, and I think this is very important for us to have that connection, because not all of us could make it to a third world country. And the fact that we can get out there and experience some of these things and carry that amana forward and implement it, and we try and show you guys as much as we can. So please, on social media, like and share the content. Sometimes it's very easy as just sharing something and making someone else aware of it. So that way you get the hasanat and the Sadaqa Jariyah of whatever else might be coming through. So thank you very much for joining us, and inshallah we'll catch up with you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.